Zuri was now 1 year old. She had grown fast. Her golden scales were soft and small. Her eyes sparkled like the river. One sunny morning, Maya placed Zuri on the grass. "Come to Mama," she said. Zuri looked up and smiled. She tried to stand. Her tiny feet wobbled. Then, slowly, she took one step. Maya clapped her hands. "You did it!" Zuri giggled and walked 2 more steps. Baraka came out of the house and saw them. "She is walking," he shouted with joy. Maya picked up Zuri and kissed her. "You are strong, my girl," she said. That evening, the river glowed in soft colors. It was happy too. Maya looked at the water. "She's becoming more like both of us," she whispered. The trees swayed. The river knew Zuri was growing into her purpose. One morning, a strange bird flew to Maya's window. It was green and blue with a golden beak. It sat on the windowsill and said, "Zuri is special." Maya gasped. "You can talk?" she asked. The bird nodded. "The river mother sent me. I must watch Zuri." Maya looked at Zuri, who was playing with her toy fish. "Is she in danger?" Maya asked. The bird shook its head. "Not now, but she will need to make a big choice soon." Maya's heart beat faster. "What choice?" she asked. "I cannot say yet," said the bird. "But the river is watching, and so are others." The bird flew into the room and sat beside Zuri. She laughed and clapped her hands. Maya felt both happy and worried. The bird was a friend, but the message was clear. Zuri's life was not going to be normal. One day, a woman came from Maya's old village. She looked tired but kind. "I heard about the glowing baby," she said. Maya stood tall. "She is not just glowing, she's a gift." The woman nodded. "We were wrong before," she said. "Many people now believe your child is a blessing." Maya didn't know what to say. The woman took out a small pouch. "This is from my daughter. She wanted Zuri to have it." Inside was a little bracelet made of river shells. Maya smiled. "Thank you," she said. Zuri reached for the bracelet and giggled. The woman bowed and said, "Please forgive our village." Maya felt her heart grow soft. "Maybe we all needed to learn," she said. That night, Maya held Zuri close. The past was slowly healing. The future was coming, one soft step at a time. One night, Zuri began humming a tune. It was soft, like wind in the trees. Maya and Baraka listened. "Where did she learn that?" Baraka asked. Maya shook her head. "I don't know." Zuri stood near the river and sang. The water shimmered. Fish danced under the surface. The birds stopped to listen. Even the moon seemed brighter. Maya sat by Zuri and listened too. "It sounds like the river," she whispered. The talking bird flew down and said, "It is the song of the river spirits. Only chosen ones can sing it." Baraka said, "But she's just a baby." The bird replied, "She is more than that." The song made everyone feel calm and peaceful. That night, Maya couldn't sleep. What kind of future will she have? She wondered. She kissed Zuri's forehead. "No matter what happens, we will love you forever." One warm afternoon, Zuri walked to the river. Maya followed close behind. Zuri looked into the water and smiled. "Mama, I see someone," she said. Maya looked too, but she saw only Zuri's reflection. "It's you," Maya said. Zuri shook her head. "No, it's someone else." Suddenly the water moved. Another face appeared, soft, golden, with long hair like the river. Maya stepped back. "It's her," she whispered. The river mother's face was calm. "Zuri," she said gently, "do you know who I am?" Zuri nodded. "You're part of me." The river mother smiled. Soon you will learn more. But for now, be a child, play, laugh, love. Then the face disappeared. Maya hugged Zuri tightly. What did she mean? She asked. Zuri said, She said I'm a bridge. Maya looked at her daughter. She was only a little girl, but already holding 2 worlds in her hands. One evening, Zuri wandered toward the river. Maya saw her and ran to catch up. As she reached Zuri, the water shimmered. A deep voice came from the river. She is growing stronger, but so is the danger. Maya froze. What do you mean? She asked the water. The voice replied, The ones who seek her will come soon. They will try to use her power, keep her close. Maya felt a chill. She looked at Zuri, who was playing with the water, splashing and laughing. I will protect you, Maya whispered. But deep inside, she felt fear. What was the danger the river spoke of? She didn't know, but she felt like time was running out. The forest was still and quiet, as if it too was waiting for something to happen. Days passed, and life seemed peaceful again. Baraka came to visit every day, and Maya felt safe with him. But one morning, strange visitors arrived at the village. They wore dark cloaks and carried long staffs. They looked like travelers from another place. We are searching for the child of the river, one of them said, the glowing one. Maya's heart skipped a beat. They had found her. Baraka stepped forward. You have no business here, he said. The visitors looked at him and then at Maya. We know what she is, one of them said softly. The time is near. She must come with us. Maya's breath caught in her throat. No, she said firmly. She will stay here. The visitors looked at her with knowing eyes. You cannot keep her hidden forever, one of them warned. She belongs to the river. That night, Maya couldn't sleep. The visitors' words echoed in her mind. She belongs to the river. What did that mean for Zuri? Was she in danger? Was her daughter really meant for something greater, something beyond her control? Maya sat by the fire, holding Zuri. The baby was already asleep, but Maya couldn't stop worrying. In the stillness of the night, she heard a faint sound, the river calling her name. She stood up and walked toward the water, Zuri in her arms. The river whispered, It's time to decide. Will you protect her from the world, or will you let her take her place? Maya closed her eyes. She didn't want to lose Zuri, but she knew the choice was not hers alone. With a heavy heart, Maya whispered, I will do what's best for her. The river hummed in response, its waters glowing softly. The next day, the visitors came again. This time, they were not alone. More people had gathered, all with serious faces. You don't understand, one of them said to Baraka. Zuri is not just a child. She is the bridge between our world and the rivers. She has power we cannot control, and soon the river will call for her. Maya stepped forward, holding Zuri close. She is my daughter, and I will decide what happens to her, she said. The visitors seemed to understand. Very well, the leader said. But know this, if she stays, the river will demand something in return. A price will be paid. Maya felt the weight of his words. Baraka put his hand on her shoulder. We will face it together, he said. As the visitors left, the river's voice echoed in Maya's mind. The time has come. The choice is yours. That night, Maya lay awake, thinking about the price the river would ask for keeping Zuri. She knew that whatever happened, she couldn't let go of her daughter. Zuri was the key to something much bigger than herself. The next morning, as the sun rose, Zuri began to glow. It was faint at first, but then the glow grew brighter and brighter, lighting up the entire room. Maya gasped, holding her daughter in her arms. "What's happening?" she whispered. Zuri smiled and touched her mother's face. Then, without warning, the water from the river surged into the room. It surrounded Maya and Zuri, forming a gentle barrier. The river's voice spoke clearly this time. "Zuri has awakened. She is the bridge now." Maya felt the power surrounding them, strong and beautiful. She knew then that Zuri was destined for something great, but also that their journey was only just beginning. Maya's heart was full of love, but also fear. Zuri's glowing was growing stronger. The river had become part of their lives. That morning, Baraka stood by the door, watching them. "She is ready," he said softly. Maya wasn't sure what he meant. "Ready for what?" she asked. Before he could answer, the ground shook lightly. The air turned cold. A strong wind blew through the trees. Zuri laughed and clapped her hands, her glow lighting up the room. Suddenly, the wind stopped. The river spoke, its voice echoing around them. Zuri must face her first test. She must cross the river to prove her strength. Maya froze. The river wants her to cross, but she's just a child. Baraka stepped forward. She is not just a child anymore. She is the bridge. Maya looked at Zuri. "We have no choice. She must do it." Zuri smiled at her mother as if she understood. Baraka led Maya and Zuri to the river's edge. The water was calm, but Maya could feel the power beneath the surface. "Are you ready?" Baraka asked. Zuri smiled brightly, as if she had been waiting for this moment her whole life. She took a step toward the water. Maya held her breath, watching her daughter move. The water parted around Zuri, swirling gently like it was guiding her. As Zuri walked further, the water rose to her knees, then to her waist. Maya's heart pounded in her chest. "Zuri, come back," she cried. But Zuri didn't stop. She kept walking, her feet barely touching the water's surface. The river whispered, "She is chosen. Let her walk her path." Zuri reached the other side, and the water fell back to its normal level. Maya rushed to her, pulling her into a hug. "You did it," she whispered. Zuri giggled, as if she had just played a game. That night, something changed. The sky turned dark and a heavy cloud covered the moon. The wind howled through the trees, and the ground trembled once more. Maya and Baraka looked at each other, worried. "Something is coming," Baraka said, his voice low. Zuri, who had been playing near the fire, stopped and looked up. Her glow flickered. "What is it?" Maya asked, her heart racing. The wind howled louder, and then from the darkness a figure emerged. It was tall, shadowy, with glowing eyes that pierced through the night. The figure stepped forward, its form shifting and moving like smoke. "You have passed the river's test," it said, its voice like a low growl. "But the true test is yet to come. The balance between water and land is at stake. Zuri will have to decide where her heart lies." The figure vanished, leaving Maya and Baraka standing in silence, their fears deepening. Zuri looked up at her mother with big eyes. "What does he mean?" she asked. Maya knelt down, holding Zuri's hands. "I don't know, my love, but we will face it together." Baraka placed his hand on Maya's shoulder. "We have to be ready for whatever comes. We can't let anyone take her from us." Maya nodded. The dark figure's words lingered in her mind. The balance between water and land. Was that why Zuri was so special? Did she have the power to change everything? That night, Maya couldn't sleep. She thought about the river, about the land, and about what her daughter was destined to do. She looked at Zuri, who was already asleep, her little face peaceful and glowing faintly. "I will protect you," Maya whispered. "I promise." The following morning, Maya and Baraka took Zuri to the river once again. The water was calm, but Maya could feel a strange pull, a whisper in the wind. As they walked along the bank, the river began to glow with a golden light, just like Zuri's glow. Maya gasped. "It's happening again," she said. The water rose higher, forming a gentle bridge across the river. Zuri stepped forward, her little feet barely touching the ground. She smiled, her eyes shining with a knowing light. "Come," she said, looking at Maya and Baraka. Without hesitation, Maya and Baraka crossed the glowing bridge with Zuri, following her as she led them toward the heart of the river. As they reached the center, the water swirled around them, glowing brighter than ever before. The river spoke, its voice clearer now. "Zuri, you are the heart of both worlds. But the choice will soon come. Will you return to the river or stay with your family?" Zuri turned to Maya, her eyes full of love and uncertainty. Maya held her close, knowing the time was near. The future was in their hands. The river's voice echoed around them, calm but firm. "Zuri, you must choose. Return to the water or stay on land with your family. Only you can decide." Zuri stood silently, looking at Maya and Baraka. The golden light from the water reflected on her face. Maya knelt beside her. "You can stay with us, Zuri. You belong here. With me," she whispered. Baraka touched her shoulder. "But if she is meant to return to the river, we must accept it. The river has chosen her for something important." Zuri looked from Maya to Baraka. The sound of the flowing river filled the silence. Then Zuri spoke softly. "I love you, Mama, but I also hear the river calling." Maya's heart broke. "I don't want to lose you," she said, but she knew Zuri's path was one she could not control. The glow around Zuri brightened, a sign that the choice was coming soon. The river began to move faster, swirling around them like a vortex. It was as if the river itself was testing Zuri's decision. Maya grabbed Zuri's hand tightly. "Don't be afraid," she whispered. Baraka looked at the swirling water, sensing the pressure. The river's voice spoke again, louder this time. "The test has begun. Choose now, Zuri. Will you walk the path of water or stay with your family?" Zuri took a deep breath, her small face full of determination. She looked at the glowing river, then at her mother. "I will stay," Zuri said, her voice strong. A wave of energy shot through the river, and the water calmed. The golden light around Zuri dimmed as the test ended. Maya held her close, relieved, but a part of her still wondered what the future would hold for her daughter. She had chosen to stay, but the river had left its mark on her. Days passed in peace, but the calm did not last. One evening, as Maya, Baraka, and Zuri walked through the forest, a shadow appeared in the distance. It was a figure moving quickly through the trees, his face hidden under a cloak. The figure stepped into the clearing. "You chose poorly, Zuri," the figure said in a cold, eerie voice. "The river will never forgive you for turning your back on it." Maya stepped in front of Zuri, protecting her. "Who are you?" she demanded. The man pulled back his hood, revealing a face that looked both human and strange. His eyes glowed like the river, but they were filled with darkness. "I am a servant of the river," he said. and I have come to take back what is mine." He raised his hand, and the ground beneath their feet began to shake. Baraka stepped forward, fists clenched. "Not while we're standing here." The man smirked. "We will see about that." The man raised his arms, and the earth shook violently, sending trees crashing to the ground. Maya could feel the power of the river in his every movement. Zuri stood behind her, clutching her mother's hand, the glow in her eyes growing brighter. Baraka moved to protect them, but the man lifted a wave of water from the river, sending it crashing toward him. Baraka dodged, but the water hit the ground with such force that the ground cracked. "Stay back," Maya shouted to Zuri. She pushed forward, using every ounce of strength she had to protect her daughter. She closed her eyes, calling out to the river, "Please, help us." The water around them began to swirl, reacting to her voice. It wasn't just the man's power that controlled the river, it was Maya's connection to it as well. She felt the river reach back, its energy flowing through her. The battle was on. The man looked at Maya in surprise. "You have more power than I expected," he sneered. But Maya didn't back down. The river rose around them, swirling faster and faster, a massive force of nature. Zuri's glow brightened as she stepped forward, her small hands raised. The river responded to her. Water exploded from the ground, pushing back the man's attack. Maya felt the earth calm as Zuri called upon the river's strength. The dark figure staggered back. "She is more powerful than I thought," he muttered. With one final command, Maya shouted, "Leave us!" The river surged, engulfing the figure in a wave of water. The man vanished into the depths, his dark power swallowed by the river's fury. Maya collapsed to her knees, exhausted, but Zuri held her hand, her glow dimming as the danger passed. "Thank you," Maya whispered, tears in her eyes. "You saved us, Zuri." After the battle with the dark figure, peace seemed to return to the village, but Maya knew that it wasn't over. Something still lingered in the air, like a shadow that had not fully passed. Baraka was busy working, while Maya and Zuri spent time by the river. But one evening, as Maya watched the sunset, a chilling cold wind blew through the trees. Zuri stopped playing and looked up, her eyes wide with fear. Maya felt her heart race. The river's calm waters suddenly began to ripple. "What's happening?" Maya whispered. Then, a dark shape appeared in the distance, a massive cloud of smoke and shadows, moving swiftly toward them. "No," Maya gasped. "It's not over." The dark figure had returned, and this time he brought something much worse. The dark cloud grew larger as it approached, covering the sky and blocking out the light. The air became thick with smoke, and a deep rumbling sound filled the forest. "Stay close," Baraka ordered, pulling Maya and Zuri behind him. The village began to panic. People ran, seeking shelter, as the cloud hovered over the river. "It's him," one villager cried. The dark figure had returned, but now he was not alone. He had brought with him an army of shadow creatures, dark figures that moved like smoke, with glowing red eyes. They surrounded the river, blocking anyone from escaping. "We can't let them take Zuri," Maya said urgently. Baraka looked at her, with fear in his eyes. "We have to stop them, or the whole village will be lost." Maya stepped forward, clutching Zuri in her arms. "The river is our only hope," she said. "We have to call upon its power." Maya stood at the river's edge, her heart pounding. The dark creatures circled them, their eerie whispers filling the air. Zuri's glow had dimmed, but Maya could feel her strength growing. "Please, help us," Maya whispered to the river. "We need you now." The water rippled as the river responded, but it wasn't enough to fight the darkness. Maya took a deep breath. "Zuri," she said, "you have to call on the river. You are the bridge. Only you can summon its power now." Zuri looked at her mother, her eyes full of determination. She stepped forward, holding her tiny hands up to the sky. The water swirled around her, and a bright light began to shine from within Zuri. The darkness shuddered, but it didn't retreat. The river was listening, but it wasn't enough. Zuri needed more strength, and the river's power was not infinite. As Zuri's glow brightened, the darkness pushed forward, determined to break through. Maya could see the fear in her daughter's eyes. "You can do this," Maya whispered, her voice filled with love. Zuri took another step into the river, and the water rose higher around her, surrounding her with its energy. The shadows attacked, but the river fought back, its waters becoming a shield. Still, the shadows were strong. Maya realized that the river needed something more, something from her. She stepped into the water beside Zuri and closed her eyes. "I am one with the river," she whispered, holding Zuri's hand. The river responded, rising higher and higher until it reached its full force. The shadows were pushed back, and the dark figure's army began to fade. The river roared with power, and the light from Zuri's hands grew brighter, blinding the darkness. The river was no longer just a place. It was alive with energy, with strength, and with love. With the darkness gone, the sky cleared, and the river returned to its peaceful state. The villagers came out of hiding, their eyes wide with awe. Zuri's glow slowly faded, but her power remained. Maya hugged her tightly, tears of relief streaming down her face. "You saved us, Zuri," Maya whispered. Baraka stood beside them, his face filled with pride. "You are the bridge," he said, his voice full of wonder. "You are the heart of both worlds." Zuri smiled, her small hands resting in her mother's. The dark figure and his shadows were gone, but Maya knew that the danger was not over. There would always be those who sought the power of the river. But now, Maya and Zuri were ready. Together, they would protect the river, the land, and each other. The future was uncertain, but for the first time, Maya felt hope. She and Zuri were stronger than ever before, and the river's power would guide them forward. With the dark forces gone, the village was finally at peace. Maya, Baraka, and Zuri sat by the river, their hearts light with relief. The water shimmered under the setting sun, reflecting the calm and harmony that had returned. Zuri, now older and stronger, stood by the river's edge, her golden glow faint but still present. "You have the heart of the river in you, Zuri," Maya said softly. "You are its protector." Zuri smiled and looked at the water, feeling its power course through her. "I will always protect the river," she said. The river responded, its waters flowing gently toward them, as if offering its blessing. "You are both part of this world," the river's voice said, "and part of the next. Together you will bring balance, peace, and understanding to both land and water." Maya held Zuri close, knowing that her daughter's destiny was just beginning. The days passed, and Maya could see that Zuri was changing. She was no longer just a child. She was becoming something more. Her connection to the river was growing stronger, and she felt the pull of both worlds. One evening, Zuri stood at the river's edge, gazing at the water with a thoughtful expression. Maya joined her, her heart as hold heavy. "What is it, my love?" Maya asked. Zuri turned to face her mother, her eyes full of understanding. "I must go," Zuri said softly. Maya's heart sank. "Go where?" she asked. Zuri smiled gently. "To the river. It's calling me. I can feel it in my soul. I must learn how to protect both worlds, to keep the balance." Maya's eyes filled with tears. "But I don't want to lose you." Zuri placed her small hand on her mother's cheek. "You will never lose me, Mama. I am always with you, but I must answer the call." The next morning, Zuri walked toward the river, with Maya and Baraka following closely behind. The village watched, their hearts full of hope and sadness. They knew that Zuri's journey was necessary, but it still hurt to say goodbye. Zuri stepped into the river, her golden glow growing brighter as she walked. The water parted around her, and the river's voice echoed, "Zuri, you are the bridge. It is time for you to learn the full power of both worlds. Only you can bring harmony." Maya and Baraka watched in silence, their hearts heavy but proud. Zuri looked back one last time and smiled. "I love you, Mama. I love you, Papa." Then, with a final step, she disappeared into the depths of the river. The water calmed, and for a moment, everything was still. Maya and Baraka stood together, knowing that Zuri was where she belonged, fulfilling her destiny. Days passed, and the village returned to its peaceful state. Maya and Baraka continued to live by the river, waiting for Zuri's return. The water seemed to glow more brightly now, and Maya often felt Zuri's presence, even though she was not physically there. One morning, Maya stood by the river, looking out over the water. She closed her eyes and whispered, "I know you're out there, Zuri. I know you're safe." Suddenly, she felt a soft breeze and heard a familiar voice in the wind. "I'm here, Mama." Maya's heart leaped. "Zuri?" she whispered, looking around. The water sparkled, and from its depths Zuri's face appeared, glowing like the sun. "I'm still with you, Mama," she said. "I'm learning how to protect both worlds. I will return when the time is right." Maya smiled, tears streaming down her face. "I love you, my beautiful girl," she said. "Take your time. We will be waiting for you." Years passed, and the village continued to thrive. Maya and Baraka had grown older, but they had never stopped believing in the power of the river and the love they shared with Zuri. One day, as Maya stood by the river, she saw something shimmering on the surface, a golden light. She walked to the water's edge, her heart full of anticipation. From the water, Zuri emerged, now a young woman, glowing with the strength of both worlds. "Mama," she said, smiling, "I've learned all I need to know. I've learned how to protect the river, the land, and the people." Maya's eyes filled with pride. "You've become everything I knew you could be." Zuri reached out and took her mother's hand. "And you, Mama, you gave me the strength to be who I am. Your love made me the bridge between worlds." Together they stood by the river, knowing that the balance between land and water had been restored. The journey was complete, but a new chapter had begun, for Zuri, for Maya, and for the future of both worlds. The legacy of the bridge would live on forever.